All right, everyone, welcome back to another trade breakdown for my positions in 2026. We are now delving into the month of March, and this was my first trade of the month. So I actually took this position on March 3rd. It's a daily swing trade on coffee. So first commodity trade of the year and first trade for the month of March. These are really probably my favorite setups to trade. I know, as a trader, you want to pull the trigger more often. You want to get into more opportunities, and that can sometimes, push people towards the lower time frames, just to get the sort of strike count up. Now, that is satisfying as a trader, but I really do love playing the higher time frame bias and watching the higher time frames play out. And this is kind of my bread and butter style that I like to trade and probably the one I enjoy the most. So let's jump into breaking this position down. So you can see here I posted this in the group on March 4th. This is the day after I got into the trade. Now, if we jump into the weekly chart, you can see here, this is back in July of last year, so quite a long time ago, but we're pushing higher, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, broke through this high here, then we have another leg up, pulled back down. You can see this high here is now starting to act as support, push back up to this sort of double top area, clear resistance being formed here, pull back down, and we now have some clear support. So you can see here, this is on the weekly. So we've got 2 weeks of price failing to push through here. So we've got deceleration. You can see this weak price is pushed down, pulled back up, failed to break any lower. We've kind of, for lack of a better term, swept this low here. And we've done it again the following week, and now we're starting to push up. So I'm anticipating, some sort of leg higher. Maybe we continue this bigger bear trend back down here. Maybe we push up and create a triple top. We really don't know what price is going to do. I'm just looking to capitalize on a small daily move here. So I was targeting 3 to 1, which you can see here on the tool. So here's our daily double bottom on the daily chart. You can see we had, that was over 2 weeks. We saw price failing to push any lower. So we've got some clear support here, multiple days of price rejecting this area. The first sort of really aggressive entry you could have considered taking is right here around this daily candle. But I wanted a little bit more confirmation. We could have just been squeezing and decelerating a little bit more. So I wanted to see price push off here with a bit more momentum, similar to how we had it on this daily candle. So once we got that here, I just set a buy limit order on the following day, just above that daily close, and stop usually goes below the previous day's low. Because these 2 days are so close together, I went under this one just for a little bit more added protection if we decide to come down and hit this support area one more time before pushing off. And I was tagged into the position. So I was targeting 3 to 1 on this, which I was anticipating to be the daily 50 EMA by the time this trickled down. It's obviously a lagging indicator, so just assuming if price is doing this and pushing up slowly, this daily 50 EMA is going to lag down and should align somewhere around here. So that was my target for this position. And you can see down here, I was updating the group on how the position was unfolding. Now, as you can see, I was taken out for 0.45% after my stop was hit. So what we saw is price push up. And my general rule of thumb is once we create a new, higher high or lower low, and prices reach 1% into profit, I'm going to be removing all risk or trailing my stop to at least the break even point. What I actually wanted to do was put it below this daily wick here, which was about 0.45%. If price was going to pull back and then push up, we likely wouldn't take that low. And if it failed to, we'd likely pull all the way back down. And you can see that's what happened here. So the funny thing with this one is on one of my accounts, I was not taken out of the position for whatever reason. And I decided to just leave it open and see if my thesis would play out. So on all my personal account, all my other accounts, I was taken out for the 0.45 and I marked this trade down as a break even. It's in all my data, it's tagged as a break even trade. That's how I've considered this one. But on one of my accounts, it did manage to hit my final profit target. And you can see this was 22 days later. So typical daily swing trade, that's almost 3 weeks. of price moving in this direction. So we basically pushed off that initial area of support. We've pulled back to that break-even area, sort of mucked around for a few days, and then pushed up. You can see, excuse me, we actually tagged the daily 50, pulled back a bit, and then shot back through, hitting that full target of 3%. So really happy with the analysis on this one, happy with the trade management, happy to take a break even any day with this type of swing position. If you took that first more aggressive entry on this daily here, you may have been spared a break even, but honestly, you'd be pushing well over 1%, potentially 2% profit with that tighter stop here. And there's no way you'd be giving all that back just to hit that final target there. So really happy with the management on this one. Marked down as a break even, first commodity trade of the year and first trade for the month of March. We'll get